Everybody, and welcome to this protection update Friday the 17th of September 2021. Now, I did mention last week there's quite a lot happening in the protection industry, and I'm not joking, it's starting to kick off, but in a good way. So I'm going to keep this protection update relatively concise because there is a lot to cover. Now, last night was the Moneyfacts Awards down in London, and we had not one but two of our advisor firms from within the network shortlisted for Protection Advisor of the Year. These were Stratham Park and Waystone, and it was an incredibly strong lineup. I do know some of the other firms nominated, so really big well done to Miles and the team at Stratham Park, and also Ash and the team at Waystone. That's amazing industry recognition about advice excellence, and in fact Waystone picked up the highly commended award, so congratulations from all of us at the Right Mortgage and Protection Network. Really well done. Now, Ashley James has also been nominated and shortlisted in the Black British Business Award. Now, these BBBA awards are pretty high profile and they've been going for a few years now. And if you look at the website, all of the major political leaders have written endorsements, including the current Prime Minister Boris Johnson. And if you look at the award categories, it's not just about financial services, but all types of business, including arts and media, consumer and luxury, entrepreneurs, education, professional services, and of course, financial services. Now, Ash is just one of three finalists in the Financial Services Rising Star category, which is really phenomenal. Fingers crossed you win it, Ash, but really well done. What a great piece of recognition for you and your team down at Waystone. And I've actually added a photo of Ash with both of his trophies to this protection update. Now, this week marks the last of our Trust podcasts, and it's going to be with Legal in General. Now, a few days ago, I sat down with Thomas May, who is one of their life technical specialists, who walked me through their digital trust process. I think it's quite unique on the marketplace because it's a PDF, but there's no signatures required from anybody. And that means you can get the job done really quickly. And the podcast to go through all of that detail is on this week's protection update. So please take a look. And one more thing on this. Some of you have been asking me about the Letter of Wishes podcast. I did actually release that a couple of weeks ago when I was on holiday, and it was stitched to the protection update, which means if you read it rather than listen to it, you might have missed it. So I've added that Letter of Wishes podcast to this week's protection update as a link, and it's also now in the podcast library. We are starting to get quite a collection. Now, I did mention last week, but this is your last call to action for next week's Income Protection Awareness Week. What does that mean? Well, the IPTF, the Income Protection Task Force, are running webinars every day next week at 12 o'clock noon until 1 p.m. And it's in an attempt to get the whole of the industry refocused on putting income protection firmly on the agenda. Now, Monday, the 20th, day one, is an introductory session called The Importance of Income Protection. There'll be lots of case studies and real-world reasons why it's really important not to ignore it. I predict that day two, Tuesday the 21st, will be the most relevant day for advisors within our network because that session is entitled Income Protection and Mortgages. And in fact, I will be kicking off that session with a keynote speech and my argument, which is why mortgage clients need you to talk to them about income protection. It'd be good if you could join us. Day three, Wednesday, is Income Protection for Wealth Advisors. Day four should be a good session called Underwriting and Claims, Myth Busting and Sharing Experiences. And then finally on Friday the 24th is a call to action session called Time for Action, Pledge and Next Steps. Now, if you're passionate about protection, it really would be great if you could come along to one or two of these webinars. I've added a registration link to this protection update, and when you click on that link, you'll be able to select any of the dates that you want to attend. Now, one more thing, when you do register, make sure that the link is added to your calendar from 12 noon. What we've noticed is that when I did mine, the calendar invite actually said 1 p.m, but if you try and join at 1 p.m, it'll already be over. So each session next week is 12 noon every day. Now, talking about income protection, this week saw the launch of a brand new key person income protection product from Legal in General. Now, there aren't too many of these on the protection market, but it's a very welcome addition. What is it? Well, it's income protection, which means if the insured person is unable to work due to sickness or accident, instead of the claim going to the person who is incapacitated, it goes to the business. It's business protection. Now, the business takes out cover on a key person to protect the profits of the business if that person goes off work sick. Now, L&G say this product is designed to help small businesses move confidently through any financial uncertainty that can occur if a key employee needs time off work due to absence. And then there are some specific examples of exactly how this type of cover can help a business, whether it's to meet the costs of hiring somebody else. It could protect up to 75% of gross profit that is attributed to the contribution of the person who is covered, and that will be paid monthly as per income protection. So I've added a link to the landing page where you can get more of the detail and download all the literature for key person income protection. Now we'll be launching our own income protection campaign at the end of the month, and it's called Better Sick Pay Schemes. And we're going to start with some online workshops that you'll now be able to register for. Now the dates for these are Monday the 27th of September, Wednesday the 29th of September, and a few weeks later, Wednesday the 20th of October. Again, the links are on this protection update for you to register. They're all going to start at 10 o'clock in the morning and run till 12 noon. And we've invited various different product providers to support these workshops. Plus, there'll also be lots of content related to the campaign each Friday via my protection update. Now, one more thing, these will all be CPDable events. So, as I say, just click on the link on this week's protection update and you can start to register for these events. And finally, a few more webinars to tell you about. iPipeline will be running a webinar to support the Income Protection Awareness Week with 2 webinars next week. The first is Monday the 20th of September at 10:30 with a session called What is Income Protection? The second webinar they'll be running is on Wednesday the 22nd of September, and that one is called Income Protection Product School. So that will be more provider and technical specific. And the last thing in this protection update, next week there is also a Scottish Widows CII accredited expert series webinar called Our Take on Underwriting the Past, the Present and the Future. And that is on Wednesday the 22nd of September at 2:30. Now, Scottish Widows say that this session will build advisors' knowledge of some of the most common medical conditions to help improve your discussions with respective clients. The webinar is going to be held by Dan Musty, who is an underwriting development manager, and he'll provide an overview of how they enable customers with mental health issues to access insurance and break down the stigma. And there's also a lot of stuff in there about COVID and how that's changed the underwriting landscape. So I've added links to everything that I've mentioned there. There's too much going on really, but take your pick. There's something for everybody, I think. So with that, I'm going to sign off now. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.